Flavius Josephus, originally known in Hebrew as Yosef ben Mattatyahu, was a prominent Jewish historian of the 1st century. He is widely recognized for his extensive works that document Jewish history and provide invaluable insights into the socio-political landscape of early Christianity and the Roman Empire. Born in Jerusalem around the year 37 CE, shortly after the crucifixion of Jesus, Josephus lived through one of the most turbulent periods in Jewish history, marked by revolts and escalating conflicts with Rome. His life and literary contributions are essential for understanding the historical developments of Palestine and Judaism during the Second Temple period. In 66 CE, the Great Jewish Revolt erupted against Roman rule, and Josephus, who was then a military commander in Galilee, led Jewish forces in their resistance against the Roman legions. However, following the Jewish defeat at the stronghold of Jotapata, he was captured by the Romans. While imprisoned, Josephus made a remarkable prophecy, foretelling that his captor, the Roman general Vespasian, would one day ascend to the throne as Emperor of Rome. When this prophecy came to pass a few years later, Vespasian, deeply impressed, granted Josephus his freedom. As a demonstration of loyalty to his new Roman patrons, Josephus adopted the family name Flavius, aligning himself with the ruling Flavian dynasty. Regarded as one of the greatest historians of antiquity, Flavius Josephus produced extensive writings that remain invaluable for scholars studying 1st century Palestine, Jewish religious life, political struggles, and the broader context in which Christianity emerged. Despite accusations of bias due to his collaboration with the Romans, his works contain information that is unavailable from other sources, making them critical for historical research. Josephus spent the remainder of his life in Rome under imperial patronage, dedicating himself to chronicling the history of his people. The exact date of his death remains uncertain, though historians estimate it occurred around the year 100 CE. Despite the challenges and contradictions surrounding his accounts, his writings continue to be fundamental resources for those exploring the ancient world and the origins of Christianity. Below is a letter attributed to Josephus, though its precise date of composition remains unknown. It is addressed to his fellow countrymen. Greetings, my brethren. I write to you from Rome, where countless reports and stories about our homeland reach my ears. Many voices speak of Jesus of Nazareth, the man who, as you well know, walked among us but a few decades past. I feel compelled to share with you not only the accounts I have gathered from various sources, but also my own recollections and observations regarding this enigmatic figure. Some called him a prophet, others a rabbi, and still others believed him to be the long-awaited Messiah. He was a man of modest appearance, yet his presence was undeniably compelling. In the streets and synagogues, he spoke with an authority rarely seen among our teachers. His words carried an uncommon wisdom, reminiscent of the ancient prophets. I recall hearing his strong yet tranquil voice proclaiming teachings that stirred the hearts of the humble and confounded the learned. Crowds followed him wherever he went, yearning for hope and healing. Tales of his wonders spread rapidly. Blind men who regained their sight, the lame who walked, lepers cleansed of their afflictions, and even the dead who, it was said, returned to life. His fame swept across Galilee, drawing multitudes eager to witness his miraculous deeds firsthand. Among us Pharisees and Sadducees, many viewed him with suspicion. He was unafraid to challenge tradition and openly denounced hypocrisy. Yet, even the most skeptical among us could not deny the profound impact of his teachings and actions upon our people. His words resonated deeply, and his influence grew beyond what any had anticipated. It was during the Feast of Passover in Jerusalem that tensions reached their peak. I was present in the city when news spread of his arrival. Riding upon a donkey, he entered the city to the resounding cries of a crowd that hailed him as the Son of David, the Messiah. This display alarmed the temple authorities and the religious elite, who feared the ramifications of his growing popularity. Some expected him to incite rebellion against Rome. Yet he seemed more concerned with transforming the hearts of men than seizing political power. Soon thereafter, I heard of his betrayal at the hands of one of his own disciples, Judas. He was seized and brought before the Sanhedrin, then handed over to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. The charges against him? Blasphemy and inciting political unrest. I learned that he was scourged, mocked, and ultimately condemned to the most disgraceful form of execution, crucifixion, a punishment reserved for criminals and traitors. Many assumed that with his death, his movement would dissolve into obscurity. But as you well know, that was not the case. In the days that followed, rumors spread like wildfire, whispers of an empty tomb, of disciples who swore they had seen him alive, of an ascension into the heavens witnessed by many. His followers, once fishermen and tax collectors, now emerged as fearless heralds of his teachings, proclaiming his message with unwavering conviction. Even under threat of persecution, they refused to waver, enduring hardship and even death with an unshakable resolve. Here in Rome, the name of Jesus continues to be spoken, often with a mixture of fear, reverence, and hostility. His followers, though scorned and hunted, persist with a fervor that seems to stem from something beyond this world. They call themselves the disciples of the Anointed One, and despite all efforts to silence them, their numbers grow. I do not write to pass judgment, nor to advocate for or against their cause, but rather to document the events as they unfold before my eyes. This man from Nazareth, whoever he may have truly been, has left an indelible mark upon our history. Even in the heart of the empire, his name is spoken with both awe and trepidation. May the Most High grant us wisdom to discern the truth, and may we navigate these times with insight and justice. May the light of the Torah continue to guide our steps. Some years ago, I returned to our homeland, compelled by a desire to better understand all that had transpired. I journeyed to Nazareth, the humble village where Jesus was raised. There, I encountered his surviving relatives, simple yet dignified people who spoke of him with quiet reverence. His mother, Miriam, known among the Greeks as Mary, was by then advanced in years but retained a presence of serene wisdom. She shared with me recollections of her son's childhood, describing how even from a young age, he demonstrated an extraordinary understanding of the sacred scriptures. I also spoke with his brother James, known as the Just, a man of resolute character and deep piety who led the Jewish Christian community in Jerusalem. One of the most intriguing figures I met was Mary Magdalene, one of his most devoted followers, whose testimony reflected an unwavering belief in the resurrection of her teacher. Upon my return to Rome, I observed the continued expansion of the Christian movement. Despite persecution, imprisonment, and even execution, their resolve remains unbroken. There is within them a force that defies explanation, as though they draw strength from a source unseen. Flavius Josephus, historian and servant of our people,